You have the perfect product to sell on Amazon. But wait, before you invest hours of time and hundreds of dollars, you need to research the product. In this quick video, you'll learn exactly how to use DataDive to validate your idea. In fact, you can even try DataDive risk-free using the URL below. All right, quick overview of DataDive and how powerful it is. It truly is. So you go to Amazon, and after you've installed the Chrome extension, you can go ahead and just type in a product, right? You're going to type that product over in there, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let's search for, what should we do? Let's do beef tallow, shall we? Because I love beef tallow. The world is starting to love beef tallow, not only on their face, but also inside them. So if we take a look at this here, you get this niche dive button. I'm just going to do a quick high-level overview so we can add them manually, but there's going to be another training on manual adding and why you want to do that. Let's go ahead and let's do this for Terra Loaders here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit niche dive. They've got 20,000 units bought within the last month, which is incredible. And beef tallow is only going up from here. So really great product that's in the space right now. DataDive has a product research methodology to it, which is more of a passion product methodology. You have an idea of what you want to do, and then you search that broad niche on Amazon. So if it's face creams, you'll type in face creams, right? Or creams for face, and then you'll analyze that entire niche, the top 50 products on page one, and you're going to do it by selecting multiple ASINs. Now, the difference with DataDive is you can add up to 50 ASINs in that quote unquote reverse search, right? That's going to find out where all the traffic's coming from and what's driving the sales and how much money products are making. So we can see here on the smart niche dive I've done, what it did is it read this listing of Terra Lotus that I clicked it on, and then AI has gone and found very similar products to it, and it's got this fit score, which is basically a similarity score. So we can see and make sure our team can very easily identify, and new sellers can easily identify, okay, is this a relevant product? If it's something that's like 50%, it may not be, right? With beef tallow, ling med, 100% grass fed, that's still good. That's still good. So we could again, it just put out a ton of stuff that is relevant, and it does that based on looking at the listing copy and also by looking at the keywords that are indexed for it. So we've got 15 here, and 15 is typically more than enough. So I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to give this niche a name. So I'm going to type in Terra Lotus, beef tallow. Let me change that to an O. Let me just make sure there was a delay in the keyboard strokes there, and then hit dive. Now it's doing that reverse ASIN search. So these 15 ASINs that I've selected, or that data I've selected when we're using AI, it's going to find out where all the traffic is coming from and let me know what the keywords are driving those traffic, what the search volume is, and we can see historic search volume too. And then we're going to find out and see in this beautiful screen that's about to load the rankings of every ASIN that we selected, of every ASIN that we went ahead and selected. So we're taken to this overview dashboard, which gives us a nice overview of the niche, of these 15 ASINs, the total revenue that's being shared among them, the reviews, median BSR, countries, so on and so forth, right? Total search volume, sort of all the keywords driving these product sales. So now that we're inside here, if we did have our MWS token connected, we do get a nice, let me go into this one here. We do have a nice report here where we can see overview, sales, inventory, right? And it's letting us know how many days of stock we have left. So this one we got 999 plus of this based on how it's currently selling. And then of this one, 319 based on how much stock it's got, right? And then we can also see this the listing change log, right? Because one of the major things when listings increase in ranking or decrease in ranking, it's usually because of a change. So any change that is done to a listing is going to be now tracked in here, okay? So this listing hasn't had many changes done since February, none actually, when the images was updated. So let's go ahead and we're going to go into the first screen where we want to start off, and that is the master keyword list. So we're going to go and hop into the Terra Lotus beef tallow dive that we just did. And now we're inside that folder. Every other tool we go to within DataDive is going to be related to this here, okay? So Terra Lotus is actually pre-sorted based on sales, last 30 days of sales. If yours wasn't to the left and you were still looking to enter into this niche or optimize the listing, would pin it and put it to the left here. But what you want to do is you want to go through this here, and this is the MKL, the master keyword list. So this is where we want every relevant keyword to appear that's driving this niche sales. So we'd go through this list and we'd actually select and remove anything that is not relevant. So we have Tallow Honey Balm for skin, Bare Ritual Tallow Honey Balm. That's a brand, so I might go ahead and select that, especially if I'm launching, and aim to not rank for that. But we can see Bare Ritual Tallow Honey Balm. Terra Lotus is organic position 1 for it, so they're getting more sales than the actual brand. People that are searching for this brand here. So we might go ahead and leave that in there because we can see that people are buying, another brand even though they're searching for another brand. So let's go ahead down here. We got organic, we got naked. There's a lot of low search volume here, so I might just want to go ahead and select a bunch of these and not focus on optimizing for these in the beginning. Come back to these, especially if I'm launching. But we want all of the relevant keywords in here. And typically you would remove competitor brands, especially if you're launching. So that's what this B button does. It automatically aims to identify, Terra Lotus is a brand name, so I selected that. It's got a selected 24, and we can exclude those. I'll remove these from here. And then what we want to do is we want to do keyword research. So the keyword research is going to happen in the outliers and residue. And what we're doing here is we're looking for keywords that we want to include in the MKL. And the reason we do this is because when we get to the product scorecard where we validate and find out how much money this niche is going to make and how competitive it is, we want to make sure our master keyword list contains the keywords that we want to rank for. We're going to get a better idea of how much it's going to cost us if we do that. So, and more accurate idea. So we're going to go through here. We have, again, we can search up here as well. So this is going to search all the keyword folders. And we know like tallow is the main keyword. So I might just want to go ahead and make sure I've got the tallow keywords from all of these. If you're doing a lip balm, that's a sub niche that we could explore. We'd want to do a dive on tallow lip balm separately and score that separately. But right now we're doing the skincare, right? So tallow chapstick, tallow honey, local honey revival tallow, body wash. So that's another sub niche that we could get into. Looks like a lot of people are searching for that. We have over here, let's take a look in residue. We're going to have a lot more keywords, slightly lower search volume. Outliers is those outliers, those higher search volume, maybe slightly less relevant, which we saw. It was lip balms, right? It wasn't face creams. Now in residue, we're going to get a lot of other things here. So we can do tallow. Actually, we've already got tallow searched up here at the parent level. So what we could do here, we could do cream. Do a sub search of that, right? And then what we can do, we can do tallow hand cream, tallow body cream. Tallow hand cream, is this tallow? It's not necessarily, it's a bit, or men's tallow face cream, we could definitely rank for that. Not super high search volume. Tallow cream for eczema. It's not a keyword we can include in our listing, but it's something that's relevant because tallow is great for eczema. But so we can definitely aim to rank for it through keywords. Beef tallow eye cream, whipped tallow cream. That's relevant. Whipped tallow cream. You can see Terra Lotus, although they're making a lot of sales, they're completely missing out on this one. Let's take a look here, see if it spikes recently or if it's always been high search volume. Spike 2024, 2025, and yeah, steady growth now after the big viral videos that came out from some products. So we're going to include those into the MKL. Okay. So once you've done that, we can go ahead and jump into the product scorecard. Now the product scorecard is now powered by AI. So we're going to get an automatic score here, and a number of these questions have already been filled out for us. So a number of keyword routes. Okay. So there's going to be another training video on explaining what routes are, but it's very important to understand routes to be able to rank for keywords on Amazon, not just one keyword at a time, but many keywords at a time in the most affordable and efficient way. So to answer these questions, you go through these things here. This area is where we have the profits, and we've got to answer the question for the profitability here. So based on brief research looking into this, I know you can probably get a jar of this Let's say we sell it for this here. I think Tolo this is higher than that. Actually, I think Tolo this is $25.99 or something. And let's say we're going to do the lower end of the sales velocity. Say our target is 4,000 units, or maybe you just want, to pay for your rent in a nice house. Maybe let's go 2,000 per month, right? That's like a very achievable target based on the velocity of these and what they're doing right now. Lead time 2 weeks, yeah, because we're going to be sourcing it from the USA. There's a good talent manufacturer in California. Production ends in April 2026. Target tacos. All right, sounds good. You go through this other stuff here. Product design. What's the size of it? It's going to calculate all of that. Shipping and packaging, shipping costs, order profit and loss. All right, this is where we get the manufacturing cost. So it's got $3 here by default. We can go ahead and put in 6, right? Just to be safe and generous. If we put in 6 here, we can see that our order gross profit is going to be $8.87. Okay, so that's our profit there. If we take a look down here, and if we did the Ocean RCL direct to Amazon, we can see we're getting a product gross profit margin of 34%. Okay, and then an annualized ROI of 481%. So it does that calculation for you. You can use this to help you decide whether or not it's going to be something worth your time investing into. And then you can also go ahead and try and negotiate this price down. And then, of course, if you do, your ROI is going to go up there. So here we go. This is great. 183, 184.6% ROI. So we'll look at the ROI column. So let's say we're going to go ahead with it. We can then jump into the AI product brief and see what the pain points are currently for these products. So what this is going to do, DataDive is going to analyze the reviews and let us know what people like about it, don't like about it, and who the customer avatar is by analyzing the most recent reviews on these 3 products I just selected. Then once the AI product brief is done from analyzing the reviews, we typically want to go into deep dive, right? And if we are a new seller just launching this, or an existing seller looking to try and get more sales, increase our click-through rate, we want to analyze our competition here. So we get listing details here, we can collapse all. And then when we collapse all, we can see the best seller at the top, followed by second, third, and fourth. And we see the hero image on the left, second, third, and fourth image following, right? So we can see that on the second images, soft and strong skin, they're doing a benefit. This is a feature, grass-fed tallow, pure wild honey, shields and protects your skin, looks and moisture, right? We're seeing benefits there as well. And then this one here, we see a transformation image, right? So we might want to take some of these, we might want to save them. We can download all of the images if we wanted to and send it to our design team. But we want to see this just to kind of see what our competitors are doing. And if we are doing an A/B test, like using a third-party company like PickFu or Product Pinion or IntelliV, you want to go ahead and score your product images against these before you go ahead and launch, right? Because why are you going to spend a lot of money on ads when your hero image, which is the front and first thing that people are going to see, why would you spend a lot of money against that if you've tested it against these top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 competitors and yours comes in last place, right? You're probably not ready to launch unless you're ready to waste a lot of money, or unless you have a lot of traffic coming from another platform. So that's what this is for, making sure you have competitive images, good images that have a good chance and can beat your competitors. And then there is the listing builder. Now the listing builder, what you can do here is you can actually use AI copywriter here, and it's going to write a listing for you based on all the keywords that you left in your master keyword list, right? Which was one of the first steps we did, cleaning up, removing the keywords that aren't relevant and then adding in keywords that are. So in here, we are actually seeing all of the keywords we left in there. So one thing we did, and I know we did, we left in a lot of branded keywords that we probably would have wanted to remove, especially if we're a new seller. But as soon as I click AI copywriter, this is going to write the listing for us, optimized for Cosmo and Rufus, depending on what settings and options we select in a moment here. So why is that good? Well, Amazon's algorithm is prioritizing that. A lot more people are shopping through Rufus, right? And if you're not optimized for Rufus, you're going to lose a lot of sales there that you could have gotten. Now, there is another video on training how to index based on keyword exact matches and all that. This AI kind of does everything for you. So if you don't have the knowledge and you don't feel confident, sellers can use this AI here. And we can see it here now. Methodology, Cosmo. It's optimizing for Cosmo. If we like the look of this, it's actually replacing. We've selected here to use this copy instead, and we don't want to keep the current copy. Why? Well, it's currently empty, right? There's nothing to replace it with. But this, in general, is usually better than any other human written listing. So let's go ahead and just insert it and then take a quick look. If we like it and it's approved by us, if we're the founder, owner, manager, or our team members, then we can go ahead and update our listing on Amazon with this and hopefully start to see the indexing happen, right? The ranking happen. So here we have the title: Organic Grass-Fed Tallow Balm for Face with Honey. Tallow and honey balm for skincare, natural moisturizer for sensitive skin, eczema, wrinkles, made in the USA, right? Made in the USA is very important. People want to see that. They're getting more conscious about what they're putting on their face and where it's from. If you do it from Korea, great, but tallow right now, the hottest is from the USA. Eczema, we might want to be careful with that. We might not want to put that in there because Amazon might not like it. And then we have the bullet points, right? So let's take a look. Premium tallow balm for face, natural skincare solution, pure ingredients, multi-purpose body balm. Amazing, right? I'm actually already sold. So if we take a look down here at my listing, we can see which keywords are in our competitors' listing and mine, and in what form, right? So if I sort this by search volume, we can see beef tallow for skin has the highest search volume. It's exact match in my bullets. Okay, so I'm going to be indexed on Amazon for it because it's in my bullets. It's also broad match in the title and exact match in the description. Whereas we can see tallow and honey balm here, similar search volume. 12 of my competitors have this in their listing in exact match. But in my listing, I currently have it in my title, and I also have it exact match in my bullets and description, right? So I am telling Amazon I'm relevant for that, so I will get indexed and found. So I'm happy with this listing. I would totally approve this to get published, and then I would want to go ahead and start tracking it in the Rank Radar. Now, what the Rank Radar is going to do is it's going to track the keywords on a daily basis. Now, instead of starting a new Rank Radar, I'm going to go ahead and just open up an existing one here. So I'm going to go ahead and search for a similar product, which is the beef tallow, and we're going to do it from the Rank Radar. So from the Rank Radar, I'm going to go ahead and type in herd tallow. So let's take a look at herd tallow. What did they name it? There we go. Beef moisturizer tallow. Here we go. 4 variations. Okay. So this is what they named the niche. So you search based on the niche name. So that's why you always want to make sure the name convention is the brand name and then what the product is, right? Beef tallow moisturizer, for example. So what we're seeing here, right? We're seeing, again, the keywords, the search volume. We are seeing the median rank, and that's based on how long we've been tracking this product. What we're seeing here is actually the PPC and SQP data being imported in from Amazon. And to the right of that, we have the keyword daily rankings, right? So we can see if we're moving in a positive direction or a negative direction. Let's take a look at this product, right? This tallow beef moisturizer. If I go ahead and do all time, let's see how long this has been out for tracking. With its positions since February 12th, right? Not too long. Was it March? Yeah, not too long at all. 21 days. So we can see it started to track it, indexed pretty quickly for unscented tallow face moisturizer. But where is the top keyword search volumes here? This is what's going to make the company a lot of money, right? These ones, tallow and honey balm, right? They got indexed in number 4. Click-through rate probably wasn't that great, or they weren't spending enough money on it. Amazon has become more of a pay-to-play. But if we want to see if we're relevant and ready to rank for this here keyword, we want to take a look here, right? The click-through rate is currently 0.29%. That is not very high. But we can see those that do click on it, 5% of them are converting, which is fantastic. So I see a good indicator here of the conversion rate, but they definitely need to optimize the click-through rate because that's probably why they're not getting as much organic. Yeah, they need to work on this here. So working on that is typically how can we make the title more appealing to the people looking and searching for tallow and honey balm, right? It's making sure we have those keywords in the title. And then making sure that our listing image clearly portrays that it's got honey in it and that it is tallow from a cow. And then we can go ahead here actually. So we're having an issue ranking for tallow and honey barn, right? So if we go to the listing builder, and that's a keyword we want to rank for because it's going to change our lives, our family's lives, because it's going to drive a ton of sales. I can go over here and type it in here and see if we're ranked for it, right? Tallow and honey balm face. There's actually a lot of keywords here that aren't tallow and honey balm. We can see it's not in my listing, right? So if this was that, we'd need to fix that. This is, and then this is how you put it in, right? This is for, yep, that product. So no one created a listing in DataDive for that specific ASIN. But let's say we could do it with AI copywriter. If you click on this here, you can actually choose the option you want to optimize with AI. I like Cosmo and Rufus because a lot more people are starting to show with Rufus. But as soon as you put this in here, tallow and honey bun, you can see you get an exact match there, right? An exact match. So now we know we're optimized. And yeah, ready to rank for it on Amazon. Hopefully get indexed and then service the consumers looking for a good quality tallow face cream. And also in return, we're going to get more money, rewarded with more cash flow so that we can keep creating more good products for the world to enjoy. And then also have some more free time to be able to spend the excess on adventure, whatever it is that makes you happy for doing this great thing for the world. And that's how you use DataDive in a nutshell. There is some PPC stuff here. There is some comparison features and project management in each pipeline here. But that will be in another video. These are the main features of how you'd use this. Any questions, just reach out. Hope you enjoyed this and talk soon.